let me say it this way. I think a lot of people, including Sanchali on the main stage, was taken by something that Samit put up some days ago, where he said emotional infrastructure is the new infrastructure. And I think I'm really glad to be sitting on a panel with people who are putting the emotion in infrastructure at this point of time. A quick show of hands, which was how many people here have been to any sort of a concert in the last 1 month? Hands a little up, no, please. हाँ, मतलब वैसे ही दिख नहीं रहा था उनको. Okay, nice. A play, a sporting event, great. Okay. Yeah, you panelists feel free to do that. I think venues have moved from being just infrastructure and spaces that we would look to rent to really places that today have become culture drivers. From curation to promoting, to becoming promoters, to producing formats. I think you all are doing it all. And, without taking much of your time and going on about this, what I want to start with is how has the last year been, and what is probably one or two key transformational moments that you have seen as venues in the live entertainment space that we're talking about? So, any one of you can choose to start. Asad, in order of.
Your question is on. Hello?
You want to just.
All right, I've got it.
Yeah.
Turning on a button. Thank you, Megha, for that question, for inviting me to moderate, to be part of this conversation, and also for curating such a kick-ass conference. Just to contextualize this for, the Opera House is a 109-year-old building. It was a movie theater. It was shut for 25 years. It reopened in 2016, then 2 years of COVID. So it's technically only 6.5 years old. So it's a little young venue in my mind. And so when it started, I consciously decided to make it a genre-agnostic venue. And so we do everything from performing arts, music, theater, dance, but also literature, a lot of kids programs, a lot of conferences, symposiums, not too many weddings, that should happen. And the idea was to dimensionalize the arts. I like to mix genres and formats because it makes it more interesting. I think one thing we did last year, which I thought was very successful, we did something called the Festa de Goa, which was a Goa festival that covered food. We had Feni, we had fashion, we had music, we had literature, and serious stuff. This was, academic level. We had Damodar Mauzo, who's the Gyanpith Award winner. We had photography, plus we had Fado music, and we had 120 people chorale ensemble. And it was so successful that everyone's asking for a round two. And what we're going to do is replicate it with different states, cities, and even countries, and not only at the Opera House, but also we're thinking of taking it outside. So that was one of the bigger projects that we've done. But, I've done an opera season in the past, and I don't know how much time. Just tell me when to shut up, because after the last session, I'm a little lost on time.
I think we've discussed this off stage enough to know when we just move to the other
But,
person.
I have many more things I can share, but let's all get a one round of questions.
Yes, of course. So I think, Mayank, if you can share what would you call, a couple of transformational experiences that really, worked or, were the highlights for Phoenix in the last 1 year?
So, predominantly, we create venue fan parks to get customer who can end up shopping. So for us, the TG is not only a music lover or that age group. For us, the TG is from a toddler to a senior citizen. So in last 2-3 years, we have evolved ourselves from moving or also parallelly focusing with larger kids IPs, Gen Z based events, coffee and rave, and on those lines. So there has been a major shift in terms of the plan and the way we are approaching. Plus, for us, the venue is a high real estate cost. The occupancy of those real estate is huge. So to get a real ROI on that, we have also started doing a longer duration events, like a 1 month event, 2 months events. So through that, we get consistent footfall and consistent people coming to the mall. So those have been the drastic change last 2-3 years, what we have seen.
Okay, that's great. So I think you spoke about remixing formats. You're talking about creating new formats. Nihit, you want to talk about, because I know tech and immersiveness is something that you were talking about, and yeah.
So first of all, thank you, Mega, and thank you, Shows of India, for having us. Mega, we are primarily, as Mayank said, that we are malls. We are into a brick and mortar space. For us, definitely, I would say pre-COVID time and today, there's been a huge difference in terms of creating our own IPs, where mall used to invest by their own, creating their own marketing calendars, spending on their own IPs, building new IPs which were tactical, which were seasonal, which were something belonging to the consumers, and some were mega IPs, which becomes like a signature of a particular mall or under the whole sum of a company development. These things, but today, post COVID, we saw that it's been a great time when we started co creating and collaborating. Thanks to all the live experience organizers and events, and kudos to District, Paytm Insiders, and everyone who gave us a lot of platform to come together, build something really great, and host the event with them together. And it yielded great numbers to us. Definitely, as we are speaking, day after tomorrow, I am launching one of the DLF Malls is launching the first ever immersive of Da Vinci and Van Gogh together. So which is on a global map, it has never happened that two big artists or the legend artists of the world having a show which is not only immersive but it's also interactive. Just imagine the summer being a very big time for the malls, where we really want that kids have something to come down to the mall and engage. So this became like this is something which every person, every family would love to come and watch. And from the tech experience, definitely this immersive and AI experiences are the part of the new era today, which is gonna evolve year on a year and get more nourished and more sophisticated in terms of getting more technology evolved, which is not only going to help us in future, but also redefine the consumer experiences. That's what we believe, that it's something very essential, and we look forward to implement those AI and the new technologies together.
Thanks for that, Nate. Mohammed Bhai, with you, I think you need to talk about, you've told this too, and I think it's for everyone to know how Dome has been pivotal and, has allowed for artists to create formats to begin with. I think that's the one among so many other things that happen at.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for being here in large numbers. We have a beautiful team here, all in different types of venues. There's malls, there's Opera House, there's DLF, there's Phoenix. We are celebrating our 10th year at Dome, by the way, as a venue. An iconic venue in Bombay. You can walk into every part of the ceiling. You can set up a show in 6 hours flat. Acoustics are fantastic. Every international artist loves to come there. It has become a default venue because today people smell a good show, smell a good artist, smell a good movie. It's all about the experience. What are you going to get? What are they going to offer? Is this venue going to give us good production? Is it going to be a good experience of parking, going in? How are we going to feel? Are we going to enjoy? So there are promoters now, ticketing companies. Everybody is working towards great, we have to collaborate with people. Definitely, it's a huge venue, more like a white elephant, but that's where we come in, because if we don't create shows, our own IPs, or collaborate, so we've created our own IP with Team Innovation, young, small boys, very hardworking. It was my young days of life where I used to see them working. I see my inspiration in them. So they work hard, and we created Dome and Team Innovation, Domination. So we do IPs with Domination, and we have picked up Bismil and Sagar from nightclubs in Delhi. We did the first ticketed show at Dome. And after Dome, since my promoters follow me across the world for life, they have gone across the world and created uproar in the new genre of Qawwali. So that is something I say that we are the live capital of entertainment and live shows at Dome. So we have to create trends, create experiences. The production, everybody does projection with lasers. We have holograms nowadays. The different types of lightings has been tried there. The flying acts which are happening there. And for Bismil and Chetas, we gave out the Coldplay bands. It cost us 60 lakh rupees but we had to establish an experience. And each band was given free. First, we had an idea, let them buy the bands. We said, no, let's create the experience, let people talk about it, and then you create the brand of a good venue. So that was the idea. Chetas insisted we should give it free, and everybody went with it, and it was something which is worth seeing. It was amazing. So, Dome is not just a venue, it's a collaborator, it's a partner. We collaborate with partners, ticketing people, Sunburn, Spacebound, and each and every event manager here. Being in entertainment, but my passion is always live. I've done everything from making movies, television, live, fiction, fireworks, pyrotechnics. You can say anything in entertainment. But live is still my passion. And if you create good content, and people will come and see it, they will like to pay for it.
Thank you so much for that. Bala, there's a reason I deliberately wanted to come to you on this at the end, because I know Bala, for all those of you who don't know, now heads Nesco live events and is driving the entire piece and programming there. Bala, you've come from luxury with Lodha, then you've been with Laksh. I like the L's that are following. So then you've been with Laksh and then done a lot of live work there. And now you're, at a venue. So while it's just about a month and a half, there are a lot of success stories that you've got, and there's a very different perspective. So if you can talk about that, please.
When I first went to Nesco to sort of do a event or actually see the venue, it was actually when Eva Live was doing Bryan Adams, and that's when I got introduced to Hall 6. So that was my first introduction to it. But if you really look at it, we're a 28-year-old brand. If you look at BEC, which is Bombay Exhibition Center, right? People know it as Nesco as well. But over the last few years, especially after the pandemic, one of the key things was to change that from being known as Bombay Exhibition Center to Bombay's Experience Center, right? And that really changed. And if you really look at it over the last few years, and if some of you all live around Bombay and you've come there, you'll realize from just being auditoriums which had pillars or shacks which had pillars, it's now got 3 pillarless halls. Hall 6 is the newest and can take about 18,000 people. But there is also an ecosystem wherein there are about 12 restaurants that are there, which are top-end restaurants that are from across Bombay. We also have a food court. We have 2 of them. One is opening up shortly. And we've also got a gaming arcade now. So we wanted to create an ecosystem. And that's what we've really concentrated over the last few years. And we've done that successfully. But also over a period of time, Krishna was the MD, and the rest of the management team believed that you had to move on from just doing exhibitions, right? And you can play this rate game, and all of us are in that rate game. We can keep increasing square feet rate. We won't get anywhere. Right? The delta had to come from somewhere. And that's where we sort of decided that we have to take the next step. And so that's how live events came together. If you really look at, we have an IP called Rangilo Re, which has done fantastically well. The team has sort of, when I came in and I saw some of the numbers, I was blown away, right? A lot of them that sort of put in effort to do it. So the CAGR post-pandemic is about 75%, right?
Which is
so
incredible.
that's how well it has really grown. And ticketing revenue contributes to about 85-90% of what we do at Rangilo Re. And then so slowly, when we started sort of opening a lot of the halls for live events, we started doing them ourselves as well. Last year we did Amit Trivedi live. We did a show with Farmhouse with Lucky Ali. We did Aditya Gadvi. And then actually when Hall 6 opened, we did something with a partner, which was a Lata Mangeshkar concert to sort of honor her songs and her memory. And then came Mr. Deepak Chaudhary with Bryan Adams. And then thereafter Honey Singh. So it's been a great year, and we've only sort of done better, and the intent is to sort of take it further.
That's incredible, because you spoke about ecosystem, you've spoken about, community spaces and centers and catering. And I think it's very essential to note how Nesco created this entire piece in an area in Bombay, which people would really not venture towards, if I may say so, because it was at one end, and coming in from there would also really be, a nightmare of sorts if you were looking at Bombay traffic. But that said, you spoke about ecosystem, and, you've spoken about monetizing, and outside of ticket sales, and you're talking restaurants, you're talking, collaborations. There are people in the audience today who are sitting with ideas that they want to build, with things that they want to do. If you have to look at the audience and say, this is what we're looking at collaborating on or building together with somebody, what would that one or those two things be? And I want to open this up to everyone at this point, starting with you, Mohammed Bhai. If there's what is it that somebody from the audience could come and talk to you off stage and say, I want to build this and I want to do this with you?
So they are most welcome. A lot of people do come up. New promoters are born every day in Bombay and all over India, and they have contacts. They want to do artists, but we are very honest with them. First of all, we say you make a P&L. Don't lose your money. If you're getting a very big artist, very good idea, but you will not make money. Any artist over $200,000 will not make money in my venue. He will never recover unless you have great sponsorship. So said, first you get your sponsorship on board, become safe, then you depend on the ticketing. So ticketing is your bonus. Though Dome is a very default venue, we get 1,500, 2,000 people. People walk in because it's right in the center of the city. And we do tell them that get your sponsorships right. And definitely you need to spend a great deal on production because here people are expecting great production. So if you are doing a good venture at Dome, it has to be of quality. So that's very important for us.
Got it. Asad, if someone has to come to Royal Opera House and wants to build something,
Come on in. No, I'm just kidding. Collaboration, I say, is our middle name, especially with my Avid. I mean, I just always say more logos, the better. It makes the creative look pretty. Like, look at yours. Look at the logos down there. No, I mean, everyone has to bring something to the table. Now, my experience in Opera House is very different to what my esteemed panelists have said. We're a Priscillium style, 575-seater, heritage structure. So collaboration from my perspective is very different. The idea is also, as I mentioned earlier, we like to support young talent, up and coming talent, because you have to give people a break, at least their first break, among the veterans who come. Just way of covering your bare minimum cost is one thing, but that you can't go on, you can't sustain a theater with that. We just look for that look for doing something different, because I think that's also very important, supporting young talent and giving Mumbai a different cultural experience that they won't get. And we figure out a way. I mean, at the end of it, you just have to have the idea, a little bit of passion, and a little bit of common sense.
Interestingly, I want to say this. I think we talk about scale all the time and we talk about really large format things. And yes, they are very key drivers in terms of the experiences that are created. But it's very important to also realize that even a 575-seater is a place where you can create something absolutely unique in terms of an IP and format. And scale is not the only parameter that you really have to look at, because we need to be able to create at multiple levels for multiple businesses. For both of you, Mayank and Nihit, because both of you come from a similar venue structure, what are the kind of genres or new formats or ideas that you're looking at that kind of would add to your P&L and ecosystem, and therefore open up collaboration for people?
So Megha, see, we are a 365 days running place. And in order to fuel our kitchen, it's very essential that we have to build some other things every day which excites consumer to be at our place. It's not only a place for shopping, but it's more about a feeling that someone is, you're coming to a place where you have everything for everyone. So, and we all understand one fact that every day it can't be a live event or a music. So in order to add to that, we believe that it's very essential that we tap into each and every category. Like we have IPs which talks primarily about physical health, mental health, wellness. So that's one which we built up a active series, which talks about like active series in Delhi, active Gurugram, active Noida. So every community is getting engaged with wellness in and around the different demographics. However, it's very essential, as Mayank was telling, that for kids it's very essential that we build something really good in terms of engagement, which is something very essential. Any collaboration which we believe that has that global touch or something which is homegrown but creating right kind of a content. Please, we as a mall, we definitely we are open for collaborations. And in all my earlier collaboration, be it it's a global or a domestic or a national collaboration maker, I have been very clear that you come to us, we are not only a venue. To be very precise, we are not a banquet hall which sells the space and make money. We definitely, money is a very essential factor for us, but we define our deliverables very right. Mall being a place which is heavy with the promotions, we have SOH, which is advertising boards, billboards, everything, where other people from different industry come and buy from us. What we do that when we co-create together, we have the plethora of assets in our kitty, which helps them to promote and sell the tickets. Along with that, being a mall, that it's it comes with a easy brainer that whenever any concerts or any comedy show or anything which is happening in the city, मॉल में हो रहा है, चलो अच्छा है, पार्किंग मिल जाएगा, सब चीज़ हो जाएगा. So we have an amenities which are very intact, plus we always say that we are the safest place to be. So these are certain things which are social economic responsibilities which a mall does every now and then, and it also benefits to the consumer and the organizers as well. So open for all the collaborations. It has to be great content which should benefit the consumers, and they are the god to us.
Mayank, would you like to add something to that?
I think Nihit summarized really well. Just to add, come with an idea. We have, at Phoenix, we have around 12 malls, 7 largest fan park in heart of city. If the ideas are good and if the thoughts matches with our larger goal and objective, we don't work as a venue partner moving forward then. We work as a equal P&L partner to you because we also invest money, we also give the space, we also have a larger things at stake. So our 8-10 member team from the mall center team will work with you all to make your event successful. Then from thereof, once the event gets signed off or if the event is concluded, then our team takes over along with the promoter in a same spirit as the promoter works for his own event. So happy to work and with new promoters. In fact, we were discussing with the team the other day that I think the new promoters are coming up with excellent ideas, excellent concepts, excellent thoughts, and no longer in the same theme, same format. So we, in fact, are very keen to work with new promoters and new event organizers.
Like all of them have covered, right? Differentiated content, scalability, longevity, all of that is one thing. But if I have to really look at us, I think one thing that we're now very clear about is that we're not confined to the space in Goregaon, right? We're happy to partner with someone even outside of Nesco. Because again, you can't just keep stuff within that 4 walls and then figure out how long you're going to grow. It's not going to be possible. So I think that's one thing that we're now going to look at.
That's very interesting. We're going to come towards the close of our panel and we're going to be doing well on time. We're not ending it right now. We still have a few more minutes. So don't look at me like that. But, before we go down, towards the last segment, I want to really ask the audience, if I have to look at you and say, what is the next thing that you would like to see at a venue? I mean, and I'm not talking the run-of-the-mill things. Is there anything that's, different from what you've experienced so far? Maybe you've experienced it outside the country and you'd like to see it in India. Are there any thoughts on what would be the next thing that you'd want to see at any one of these venues that you haven't come across so far? Sorry, if you can be a little louder. So the infrastructure should be the kind that just allows you to come in. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, sorry.
Friday is coming now.
Not just, I'm saying that it's the beginning, but that's what one would love to see.
We are doing that.
You wanted to see that?
So, experiences, yes, we have done fight shows also, where you feel the water, where you feel the wind. So it's done on a smaller scale for private audiences, but I think now it's time to move on. But have you heard of an artist called Anup Jain, any of you? Okay, this guy, I have never heard of him, and he came to play at Dome. And I said, who is this artist? He was sold out in like few hours, and the complete venue was wiped out, like there were no tickets. And when my phone starts flooding, I know that some artist is popular who's performing at Dome. So I said, let me go and see his show. And believe me, the youngsters, they have created a lovely experience. They had amazing production. My team had done the production for them, but their ideas were theirs. So they had amazing production. They used the fans, and in every song was a different visual. We appeared as if the butterflies were flying all over the venue. The background was separate, so 5 layers. Then when they talked about water, they had bubbles coming all over. People were getting wet. So they were creating the 3D experience that you're talking about. And it's a guy who has a fantastic fan following, and he sells out within 1 or 2 days. So, Anup Jain, if you announce 4 days, he's sold out. So mad fan following. So these are the kind of artists do exist. Many of them are there. And Sachet Parampara, there are many, many of them who are, I'm talking about culture. Culture, when Team Innovation, with nomination, we did Rishabh Sharma. It's this was sitar for mental health. Unbelievable craze. Everybody sat down, spellbound, no alcohol, nothing. 2 hours non-stop listening to this guy and mesmerized. He was sold out 3 shows. And everybody still like crying for tickets. So these are type of artists who sell out, have fantastic craze, and these are the artists that everybody should take across the country.
So there's immersive and technology-driven experiences. There's obviously a plug-and-play format, and the plug-and-play format, and what Ankur just said, makes me want to ask: are you looking at, because infrastructure is the core of the business, right? Are you looking at, especially for like a Nesco, like Dome? Are you looking at making any more investments in terms of overcoming barriers and creating such formats where people from the industry can come and do like a plug and play format and put up a concert or put up a exhibition or put up any form of IP in a quicker timeline and deliver different experiences?
So in our case, yes, we are looking at investing. We have a large volume of space available. But our first agenda is to sort of upgrade what we already have, right? We have a lot of pillared halls. So that would be one of our first things that we work on, and then sort of improve that. And actually, we were trying to work with a lot of people in the industry to ensure that it becomes that venue where, like Ankur also mentioned, it's a more plug and play sort of thing. And I think Hall 6 is still halfway there. We'll improve over the years on that as well.
Okay, I'm going to take the last 2 minutes to just cut it down to 1 minute, as DC has just pointed out graciously from the audience, and go for one last summation. In one line, what lies next for venues and infrastructure in the country as experienced drivers? Starting with you, Asad.
So, since you gave us that question yesterday, I asked my friend ChatGPT what that mean, and it said that immersive tech-enhanced storytelling that transforms venues into interactive, multi-sensory destinations. I mean, covers everything what everyone's
You
saying.
sounded like the Shashi Tharoor of our industry at this moment.
But what I would say, I want it to be, at least for the Opera House, a platform for ideas, exchanges, education, and thought leadership. Technology, all that will follow.
That's lovely. Bala.
For us as well, for us, like I said, we're done with the raid game. So for us, it's about creating new, interesting IPs. We have in the last year invested in a few and bought a few IPs as well. So that's something we're going to continue doing. And live music is another thing that we're going to get into this year as well. So,
Mayank, the future.
Adding value to the experience of our community catchment near our malls. So if we are able to do that, our work is done.
Nihit.
I think that the major thing, as rightly said someone in the audience, there was a plug and play model. We really need a great venues in our country and in every places. I believe everybody has to contribute for that, be it a mall or a hotel or a playground, everyone. We need to build something which is experiential for people who are viewing it, spending a lot of money. Nothing goes rather than having a right kind of an experience and say, wow. That's what we need from the consumers who's coming in and spending on venues for entertainment at our place.
Lastly, Mohammed Bhai.
And we are working to make something really good.
I was just wondering if you were going to say that.
No, it's a surprise. We're going to give it very soon.
It's a big announcement coming.
We'll be doing it very soon.
It's it's very good. Like the Delhi government said, they are also going to create venues. Maharashtra government is creating more venues. It's good for all of us. The show business has picked up with Zomato District coming in, BMS doing lots of shows, but still venues are missing. So more the merrier. Experiential venues are the next call. So I believe should be all about live entertainment, entertainment, entertainment.
On that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we have to take a moment. We're the only session that's finished right on time. So another round of applause for all of you. Thank you so much.